Hi everyone and welcome to the 2014 bookshelf tour. I'm really excited to do this video because I know so many people have been asking me throughout the year and finally it's here today. I'm doing this to celebrate 2 years of Reading with Jack and 3,000 subscribers. Both of them are crazy achievements and I'm just so thankful, and I just want to thank everyone by doing the bookshelf tour. In general, the books are arranged in series. Some of them are not, just depending on if there's hardback and paperback in the same series. I couldn't always get them in the same place on the bookshelf, but in general most of them are in quite similar places and hopefully it looks nice. I love bookshelves and I'll probably end up wanting to change mine again very soon. So I hope you all enjoy and let's get on with the bookshelf tour. So the first shelf is dedicated to the Warriors series by Erin Hunter. It's an amazing series, definitely my childhood favourite. I can keep rereading the books again and again and I absolutely adore every single one of them. Of course there are a lot of books and they go throughout the whole of this shelf. I just like dedicating a whole shelf to my favourite series. So if we start across here, the first 4 books are all field guides. They basically reveal more about particular aspects in the books. The first one is Secrets of the Clans, then Battles of the Clans, Cats of the Clans and Codes of the Clans. The next 4 books here are all super editions. They're basically longer than the normal series books. They focus around one particular character's perspective. So I have Crooked Star's Promise, Blue Star's Prophecy, Skyclone's Destiny and Firestar's Quest. On the top of these I have some manga books, and basically throughout the whole of this shelf, because it's the top shelf, I have books going across the top of the books. The reason behind this is so that the paper of the normal books, like these kind of books, doesn't get dusty. If I have books across the top I can just wipe the dust off a normal front cover, but if it gets onto the paper you can't really do that. This actually works, so if you want inspiration for how to keep your books not dusty on the top of a shelf, definitely try this out. So they're not in the right order actually, but these first 3 are the Grey Stripe mangas. I have The Lost Warrior, Warrior's Refuge and Warrior's Return. And then we get onto the actual series books. The first one is called the original series. There is Into the Wild, Fire and Ice, Forest of Secrets, Rising Storm, A Dangerous Path and The Darkest Hour. In my opinion that's definitely the best series of all of them. The next series is called the New Prophecy series. We have Midnight, Moonrise, Dawn, Starlight, Twilight and Sunset. That is a really good series, probably my least favourite but still very enjoyable. Then I have The Power of Free, The Sight, Dark River, Outcast, Eclipse, Long Shadows and Sunset. On top of that I have a French edition of Into the Wild. I guess it should probably be near the original series where that is actually the first book. I got this ages ago, I haven't yet read it, but I just want to read it at some point. You know, I'm learning French and French is an amazing language. Finally, the last series is called Omen of the Stars and I actually really enjoyed this series. I was a bit unsure what to think about it, but it was absolutely amazing once I got into it. So I have The Fourth Apprentice, Fading Echoes, Night Whispers, Sign of the Moon, The Forgotten Warrior and The Last Hope. The book on the end is actually Seekers The Quest Begins. That's another series by Erin Hunter. I haven't continued with that series but I still think it's really good. It was an enjoyable read. And on top of that I have Warriors The Rise of Scourge. That is again a manga. So now we get onto the shelf which starts all my other series. The first one isn't actually a series book, it's actually The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. It's a Waterstones Loves version, so it's a bit cheaper, the cover is slightly different but it's still amazing. And then I have the first 3 books in the Gone series by Michael Grant. I have Gone, Hunger and Lies. Underneath this is one of my favourite series again, it's the Skullduggery Pleasant series by Derek Landy. I have Skullduggery Pleasant, Playing with Fire, The Faceless Ones, Dark Days, Mortal Coil and Deathbringer. I've loved all of them. I haven't got the 7th book yet, but I definitely plan to get it at some point soon. Here is The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. I have Eragon, Eldest, Brisinga and Inheritance. I really love the first 3. I haven't read the last one yet, but I definitely want to because it sounds amazing. And then underneath these I have the Time Riders books by Alex Scarrow. I haven't read these. I don't know why. I just sort of like wanted to buy them when I got them and for some reason I don't want to read them anymore. So please tell me if they're good. I don't even know if the order's correct, but I think it might be. Time Riders, Day of the Predator, The Doomsday Code and The Eternal War. And then over here, I don't think you can hardly see it, maybe because of the light, but it is Silverfin by Charlie Higson. I read that quite a few years ago now. I remember it was quite a good book, definitely very enjoyable. And then if we start on the next part of this bookshelf, I have Firebringer by David Clement Davis, and then I have Changeling and Changeling Dark Moon, that's the wrong way round, by Steve Fiercy. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, The Hunger Games again by Suzanne Collins, Collins, The Hunger Games Again by Suzanne Collins. Yes, I have 3 versions because I love it so much. And actually, they were all on offer, so, you know, they weren't really expensive, so I thought I may as well get them. And then, of course, Catching Fire and Mockingjay, and again, Catching Fire and Mockingjay in different colours. Here is my Kindle. I very rarely use it, but I have it there. Sometimes authors send me books on a Kindle to read and review. The next part you can hardly see because I know the books are quite shiny and it's quite sunny outside, so I will tell you what they are, however. The first one is Bleach Volumes 1, 2 and 3. It's a bind-up by Tite Kubo. And then I also have Volumes 4, 5 and 6. I absolutely love the Bleach manga. Definitely one of my favourites. So fun, full of action, and just great to read. And then I have some Redwall books by Brian Jakes. I have The Bellmaker, Outcast of Redwall, Martin the Warrior, Redwall, The Long Patrol and Matimeo. Underneath that I have some books which are slightly in the wrong order just so I could fit them in properly. I have Eon by Alison Goodman, that's the first book, and then Iona is the second book. And I have Divergent by Veronica Roth and Insurgent by Veronica Roth as well. I do plan to get Allegiant really soon. I'm so excited for that. I know it's not meant to be amazing and the ending might be controversial, but you know, I'm going to read it anyway. So on the next shelf I have The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón and The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'm sorry that's not in the right order. The Angel's Game is actually the second book. They're both amazing and I'm actually currently reading The Angel's Game and I'm loving it. Then A Thousand Splendid Suns by Carlo Giusseni, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, Angel Fall by Susan E., Looking for Alaska by John Green, Unwind by Neil Shusterman, and then the Maze Runner trilogy by James Dashner, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials and The Death Cure. And then here I have the first 2 Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan. I have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. If we move along a little bit, at the top I have The Prince of Mist by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I think that's one of his children's / YA books, so I think it'll be quite different to The Shadow of the Wind, but I'm still expecting it to be a good book whenever I get around to it. And then these 4 books are The Medusa Project by Sophie Mackenzie. I have The Setup, Hunted, The Rescue and The Hostage. Here, 3 quite well-known books I think in the book community. It's The Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer and Monsters of Men. These 5 books here are part of the Chronicles of Ancient Darkness series by Michelle Paver. I have Wolf Brother, Outcast, Spirit Walker, Soul Eater and Oathbreaker. And then across here to the side it is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. I had to read that last year for my English GCSE. Here I have the Noughts and Crosses series by Mallory Blackman. I absolutely adore it. I love the themes and everything that's explored in this book. So the first one is Noughts and Crosses, then Knife Edge, Checkmate and Double Cross. I haven't yet read Double Cross, but I definitely want to read it this year. And then here I have some books by Anthony Horowitz. The series is called The Power of Five, and the first one is The Raven's Gate, then Evil Star and Night Ride. Then next to this I have Shades of Grey by Jasper. Of course I read that in January as part of my dystopia themed month. Next to that I have one of my favourite trilogies. I absolutely love it. It's Legend by Marie Lu. Legend, Prodigy and Champion just gets better and better with each single book. Champion was amazing. Finally, a final book in a trilogy that didn't end badly. And then next to that here I have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Of course so many people have read that book. Then at the top of this next pile, generally they're by Cassandra Clare, but the first one is actually I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Law. I read that quite a few years ago now actually. And then of course the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. Absolutely love them. I haven't read books 4 and 5 yet, but hopefully I will at some point. Then underneath that it's the Infernal Devices trilogy, also by Cassandra Clare. I think I probably prefer this to the Mortal Instruments. I really love the era and I think everything works better in this book. So it's Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess. So I'll start at the top of this next shelf. The first one is 1984 by George Orwell, and then I have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm reading that right now for English literature and I'm loving it. Such a great book, definitely better the second time around. I just think I understand everything a little bit more. And then I have The Power of Six by Pittacus Law and The Mountains Echoed by Carlo Giusseni. Then The Complete Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. That's basically a bind-up of all the different books that there are. And then Will Grayson by John Green and David Levitt. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, then Where Things Come Back by John Corey Whaley. Next to this I have 2 Hunger Games books. The first one is The Hunger Games Companion by Louis H. Gresh, and the second one is The Hunger Games Tribute Guide. At the top of this next pile, the first one is Lord Lost by Darren Shan, then I have Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and Tunnels by Gordon and Williams. I have Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, Wilderness by Roddy Doyle, then some Uglies books by Scott Weston, Westerfeld, I have Uglies, Pretties, Specials and Extras. Next to that there is Battle Royale by Koshun Takumi. That was my favourite book of 2013. I loved it so much, just an amazing dystopia. Then this very small book here which you can hardly see, it is William Golding's Lord of the Flies. The book at the top here I know you can hardly see, but it is Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. It's the first book in his Dark Materials. Then I have Watership Down by Richard Adams, The Sight and Fell by David Clement Davis, and then underneath this I have Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I haven't read it yet and I don't know if I want to read it soon, but we'll find out. Hopefully I'll like it whenever I do read it. Then I have Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and then The Eagle of the Night by Rosemary Sutcliffe, The Forsaken by Elisa M. Stasay, or Stas. I love saying Stasay, as everyone knows. The next series across here is beautiful. It's the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Of course, I think everyone knows the names of these books, but I will say them anyway. The Philosopher's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban, Chamber of Secrets, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows. At the top here of the next pile I have The Invisible City by M.G. Harris, then The Tiger Warrior by David Gibbons, Cutting for Stone by Abraham Verghese, whatever, however that name is pronounced, and then Life of Pi by Jan Martel. For this next shelf you're going to have to excuse my shaky hand because we're so low to the ground, like literally look, we are almost on the floor, so I really need to control it with my hand, the tripod won't go down there. At the top I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I also have Crown of Midnight, but that's on my Kindle, I was sent that to review. Then The Medicine by John Martindale, that was the first book I ever got as a physical copy for a review. Holes by Lewis Satcher. Underneath that, if we start across, we have The London Eye Mystery by Siobhan Dowd, Hachiko Waits by Leslie Newman, Warhorse by Michael Morpurgo, and Lime Boy by Zizou Corder. Then Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment by James Patterson, The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. Then I have some books in the Cherub series by Robert Muchamore. I have The Recruit, Class A, and Maximum Security. Then if we go to the top, I have Emperor of the Field of Swords by Connie Goulden and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Underneath that, The Wolf's Angel by M.D. Lachlan, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, Give Your Dog a Home, How to Make Your Rescue Dog a Happy Dog by Graham Sims, Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer, Running on the Cracks by Julia Donaldson, The Portal by Andrew Norris, The Secret Passage by Nina Borden, and Sky Wolves by Livy Mitchell. Across to some of my final books, I have The Loop by Nicholas Evans, The Spook's Apprentice by Joseph Delaney, Under the Never Sky and Through the Ever Night by Veronica Rossi, and finally Death Note Black Edition Volume 1. So everyone, that was it for the 2014 bookshelf tour. I really hope you all enjoyed. I had great fun doing this video and I just hope you loved looking at my books. If you want to know any more about a specific book that I didn't really talk about very much, you can ask me in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. But otherwise, until next time, thank you again for your continued support and see you all again later.